And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a great one lined up. We have a crypto that's going to come out. It could happen, I think, this month or next month. And it's tied in there really, really good with Progmat. It's the Japanese crypto with MUFG. Japan's biggest bank and Ripple partner. Not a big deal. It's called Toki, Toki. It's not available. And if you see it and you buy it, you bought the wrong one. So I'll let you guys will keep an eye out on it when it gets released. We can do the same thing like with Canton Coin and these other ones we bought early. But yes, my name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. Every day I take drugs as much as I can get: heroin, cocaine, opium, methamphetamine, rupees, date rape drugs, all kinds. I just pop everything, ingest it, snort it, eat them, inject them, transdermal them, keister them, whatever I got to do to stay high. 5.5 years, I have not gone to sleep. I just stay high all the time. All right, there you go. There's my legal disclaimer. Ready to get financial advice? Destroy golf morning. Okay, let's get into this. We've got a great show lined up. We have the LA chain coin right here. We talked about it. Make sure you watch yesterday's show. The Latin American Caribbean coin. Still up. That coin's still up 100%, 105% over the past 24 hours. It's a solid coin. It's designed for Latin America, all of Latin America, from Mexico all the way down to the most south part of Brazil and the Caribbean. It's got Quant in here, the Interdevelopmental Bank. This is so massive. This crypto is never talked about. No other channel discusses this coin and the magnitude and how important LA coin is. I have the coin. I was able to make some profits on it and stuff. But I still hold the same amount that I put in is the same amount that I still hold on it. And that's my long-term hold. I'll try to buy it, make some money on it, and then hold my original investment. And then bam, off to the next one. Make sure you have exposure to this LA coin. It goes in deep with the government and Quant, the interledger, overledger, whatever they call it. That is so tied in with governments and stuff. There's something special about this LA coin, and no one ever talks about it. It's amazing. So I've never heard of a coin, a crypto that's just designed for like the whole Western hemisphere. I've never seen no shit like that in crypto. So, and it's permissioned. That means the government's controlling this blockchain, or yeah, it is. So there's something going on with it. It's a regional crypto, the LA coin. I've never seen any kind of regional crypto before at all. This is why this one I'm holding on to. Okay. Let us start. Yeah, any wallet that has Ethereum, you can get LA coin. I'll give you the contract code. I'm copying it off the deck screener. Let me do that. It's just a great crypto to have. Tons of connections, massive connections. Governments involved in that coin. Like when you got like 9-10 governments directly involved in that crypto, it's fully legit. The government banks are involved. It's massive. There you go. All right. Next, we're going to get into something called Bridge. Let's look at their website first. Bridge will be a stablecoin company. It's a Stripe company. So Stripe buys a company called Bridge, and Stripe is all about Stellar. And here's why. Because Stripe, here's the article right here on Luminance. I'm trying to build a little foundation before we get into the article so you understand how massive this will be. Stellar will be. I own Stellar now. I don't have a whole lot, like 7,000 of them or something, but I wanted to have some kind of exposure to Stellar, even if it's a little bit. Now, if you look at what I just sent you, if you look here, Stripe gave $3 million to the Stellar Development Foundation in exchange for 2 billion Stellars. Now, we know that there used to be 100 million. Let's back up even before that. There's a guy named Jed McCaleb. Genius. Total genius, okay? This guy helps, with the help of Arthur Brito and these other people, Chris Larson and stuff, Dave Schwartz. Jed McCaleb helped start Ripple, get it going and everything. Then, for reasons I'm not getting into, he left because I think the government gave him the fuck job. He left, started Stellar with 100 billion. Because remember, Ripple had 100 billion, so Stellar had 100 billion. Stellar decided to burn up 50 billion, so half the supply. There's a reason they did it. I think they wanted to make sure they had enough and they didn't lose any. And I have no idea, but I'm guessing. I'm also guessing that maybe Ripple will do the same thing one day, is just burn up that escrow and that's it. That would be fucking amazing. I think they might do it. But if not, I don't care. And if I'm wrong, I don't care because I don't give a shit about anything, actually. So now we know that for every one Stellar, 1 out of 25 Stellars is owned by Stripe. Because remember, they bought 2 billion. There's 50 billion in existence. So 1 out of every 25 Stripe cryptos on the planet is owned by Stripe. Now that's interesting. Now let's go back to Bridge. Stripe bought a company called Bridge. So here's the partners to Bridge. Phantom, like your Phantom wallet, Remitly, Klarna, Shopify, MetaMask. Bitso, which is a Ripple partner. Let me show you that right here. Bitso. Yep, they're a Ripple partner from day one. I think all this shit's coordinated, honestly. Here's the video that I made. Go to the 11-second mark. 11-second mark. 11. Did I say the 11-second mark? You'll see what's called the International Ripple Business Association. Nobody on the crypto world talks about this. I've never seen a video of people talking about it. I brought it up 3 years ago, so try to find somebody before 3 years ago talking about this. But you've got Bitso right there out of Mexico. That's a Ripple partner from 2013. Notice what Ripple says. Gateways are the on-ramps to the Ripple network. They give users the ability to move assets. This is 2013-14 because I have the customer list. Nobody else has it. Ripple had the ability to move assets like fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, around the globe instantly at almost no cost. International Ripple Business Association listed gateways have committed to following a rigorous disclosure Okay, so there we have it. Ripple's been able to do all this shit from day one. We're looking at it right here. It's a fact-based program. There's your IRBA gateway right there. Gold, silver. How do you explain that one? Crypto, fiat, there you go. All this shit was done 10, 11, 12 years ago. Now, Latin America. Let's look right here. Let me show you this. Let's do a copy and a paste. This is another Crypto Hulk special report. You got Latin America's first Ripple gateway serves 7 local markets, something called AstroPay, some called Ripple LATAM. This was all in Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Chile, Colombia, Peru, Uruguay, all these things. Latin America's first Ripple gateway was when? 2014. Oh, shit. I'm telling you what, they got to be all hooked up, and I don't know what they're waiting for. So there's the article there that originally was published. I've been showing you guys this for years, but that's 2014. And the next one was called RipPay. Yeah, AstroPay. AstroPay was around 2019. But all this stuff, then Ripple opened up an office down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So this has been around forever. Here is the very first evidence I have of Ripple LATAM. Now it's very small. Look at this right here. It's very tiny. I found this page right here. Nobody's got this. Multi-currency design. This is what's called Ripple LATAM. Copyright 2013. Oh, shit. That's like 12, 13 years ago, Crypto Hulk. Yeah. All the way down in Latin America. Let's look. Ripple integrate. See what this is? It's XRP. In the beginning, remember Ripple had all this like RipPay stuff or Ripple X or Ripple Current or whatever the fuck. They've always had the XRP. They're trying to make it look like they don't, all right? Ripple integrates the world's virtual currencies, such as Bitcoin and Litecoin, with existing payment systems. So you have existing payment systems, and you put Ripple inside of that. This shit has already been around for 12, 13 years ago, okay? Don't ask me what the fuck's taking so long. I'm showing you the evidence here. I can't give you dates and timelines. I'm not like those fake people on YouTube and shit that try to give you price predictions while you're giving them super chats. That's so fucking embarrassing. You might as well just become a stripper. With existing payment systems in the world, by making the transition between the physical and the virtual currencies trivial, Ripple will facilitate the adoption of virtual currencies. Coin passing is built into the basic structure of the Ripple network. Notice we're talking here. Okay, go under instant deposits. With Ripple LATAM, you can deposit money and have it available to transfer or XRPs, the new virtual currency. They already had it. So this XRP, they've been running the whole time. Down here, Ripple is based on a new virtual currency, XRPs with an S. Do you feel like you've come to Bitcoin for XRP? The time is now. So they've been using XRP forever. These dumb channels out there are like, oh, they were never using XRP. Well, why the fuck are they talking about XRP there, dumbass? Wow, these people are just so fucking stupid. Well, it doesn't say specifically, no. Okay, deny it all you want. That's fine. But that's why Ripple and Hedera are going to Davos, and your stupid fucking crypto is not. So, butthurt. Unbelievable. That's why you have number 2, Michael S. Barr at the Federal Reserve, former Ripple supervisor. elite executive member of Ripple. Why don't we have Vitalik Buterin number 2 at the Federal Reserve? Because he's a fucking moron, okay? Just saying. Let's keep going. Let's not name call. So here is the bridge. Let me copy and paste it. So now we've already cleared and clarified everything that Latin America and Ripple and all this shit has already been there, done that. Now we see what it's built on. This bridge is already built on the XRP ledger. We already know they've got Bitso integrated into this. And these other, now I'm scrolling through the website. This is the bridge website. Make money move. They have wallets already. This is what I'm telling you. Ripple is going to officially come out with a wallet one of these days. They already did in Ripple Singapore. But Ripple has to announce it. And I actually, if you have the time, I don't know. If you got the time and you go back to 2022 on my program, it's tough to find the exact dates because YouTube doesn't do that. There's a program where I showed you the Ripple wallet code. This was way back. It was winter. I want to say October, November, December, January-ish. So from 22 to 23, I actually showed you the code for the Ripple wallet. And it'd be tough. I had to go back and try to find it again. I don't know if I could do it. Well, I could, but it would take a lot of time. But I actually found the whole code of the Ripple wallet, and I videoed it and showed it on my program. So if you're really, really bored and you're like, let's say you're locked up in jail and you don't have nothing to do all day, then you could go find it. But yeah, Ripple they already had wallets back in 2013. So does Bridge. Bridge has wallets. What we're seeing here, everybody, the reason I'm showing you this is because as we speak right now, every day we move closer and closer and closer to full crypto adoption and integration. We're seeing it right here. Bridge is a Stripe company. We've already established the fact that Stripe's hooked up with Stellar, which is Jed McCaleb, which is Ripple right there, one of the masterminds of Ripple. What we got here is a fully integrated stablecoin platform for moving money globally. What is going on with Bridge? See, I told you already. What you have to do is link up all the banks first, the biggest banks in the world. Then you go to the medium-sized banks, then the small banks, then the credit unions, then the money changers and stuff. It has a trickle-down effect. So what we got here is you got this Bridge coming. Now Bridge is trying to become a bank. They're applying for bank licensing. So we're talking about stable coins. No one's going to argue about a stable coin. These governments aren't going to argue about a stable coin because a stable coin for, let's say, the U.S. is pegged to the United States dollar. So they're going to have to buy dollars. So this is a way that crypto is going to integrate in, not become a threat. Okay. This is crypto that's based on the existing dollar. So Bridge wants to have $3 billion in stable coins for the dollar, right? Well, guess what? They got to actually buy 3 billion American dollars and hold it. And then it's verified every week or every month or whatever it is. It's held and it's probably inspected by PricewaterhouseCoopers. That's a Ripple partner, by the way. But they're an accounting firm and they verify and check everything. Chainalysis probably comes in and investigates you. This is where we're at. I've told you already. You get the stable coins in first. You get people like you and me using the stable coins and no, we're not going to the moon because what's going to happen one day? Crypto Hulk, Bank of America just announced wallets and I'll be like, woohoo, big fucking deal. Okay, all this shit is for stable coins. That's what's all going to be first. At the very, very, very end. And we ain't near that at all. At the very, very end, then everything flips the switch. You got to have stable coins because that's the pathway that all the crypto travels on. So again, everybody, don't get all ready to hop on the rocket and go to the moon tomorrow. It's not going to be tomorrow. Probably not even next year. It'll happen when it does. That's just how I live my life. That's how you maintain your sanity in crypto. Whatever happens, happens. Some people are watching too much of these hype programs out there. What we can do is catch pumps. That's fun. You know, man, I went a couple months back. I went to Las Vegas, had $3,000 I made off the show. We went to Las Vegas and had some fun. Blew $3,000. Fucking great. Love it, you know? People are like, oh, you should have put that into crypto. You know what? I do what the fuck I want, okay? So I got enough in crypto. Fuck it. See, I got my own little plan, and I don't need to describe to you what the fuck I'm doing. So how about this? How about this? You do what the fuck you got to do, and I do what the fuck I got to do, and it works out great. Because if not, you get blocked on the show. That's the other option, and we can do that too. I'd actually prefer that. So let's continue down here. Move money at internet speed. I want you to see what's going on with this bridge. And there's the guy from Bitso. They're leaving a comment here. Move money at internet speed. Global treasury built for the most forward-thinking teams. Pay your employees with digital dollars, no matter where they work. So I want you to see what's happening. Is crypto is allowing the United States dollar to spread. As long as you got one of these and a satellite connection, an internet connection, maybe you go, if you live someplace and you don't have either of those, you can walk into a library, get a Wi-Fi connection or whatever it is. Pay your employees with digital dollars. This is how it all starts. Crypto in general is a very generic term. It could be in a whole bunch of stuff. Now, if we're talking stable coins and US dollar, at first you'll have all these government officials that are dumb as fuck and they're criminals because what they want to do is get control of this shit before you do. You know why my channel is the most heavily shadow banned channel? Because I'm showing you how to get this crypto before them. That's why we come up with LA Chain, LA Coin. Nobody even knows about it. It's not even on exchanges yet. It's fucking brilliant. It's a government chain coin that was made with private industry. And we're buying that shit for a penny. This is a government permissioned blockchain that we're actually able to get in before it hits the exchanges. People don't even know what this shit is. That's how early you and me are. I have a good position. Right now I got well over 20 to 30,000 of these LA coins, okay? And I'm just going to hold them just like that. And then I'm off to the next brilliant one that we find. But right here we're seeing pay your employees with digital dollars, no matter where they work. Imagine someone somewhere in Africa could be working and they want stable coins. So you can send them an American stable coin. But how it's going to be in the future is this. These different countries, they're going to have a platform that all their people will be on. Like LA Chain is for all Latin America. So the LA Chain, you're going to have to be on LA Chain to conduct business. That's how all this shit will work. So yeah, pay your employees with digital dollars no matter where they work. These countries are going to have their own proprietary blockchains, just like LA Chain. And let's say this chain in Kazakhstan, you live in Kazakhstan. I run Crypto Hulk Show, and you live in Kazakhstan. I want to pay you in digital dollars. So I could send you in American dollars. But your government, because you're on a blockchain to protect your own, so your government's going to come up with a blockchain. And anybody doing business in Kazakhstan is going to have to utilize the Kazakhstan government's blockchain platform. And in there, it'll say, oh, American dollars coming in, we're going to do a switch, and it's going to turn into Kazakhstan dollars. That's how that shit will work, okay? So now maybe some governments, again, they won't be as communist, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, you could live in Kazakhstan and accept American dollars for payment. That's fine. So some countries are going to do that. Other ones are going to be all butthurt and not allow you to do that because they have a shitty ass government and they're all scared that their money is going to become worthless because they're doing the wrong thing and not backing it with gold and silver to begin with. So, but this is where Bridge comes in. You can move money all around the world. And it looks like a great little program here. It comes down to trust. And these are names that I'm familiar with. Stellar, Stripe, Jed McCaleb, and all these people. So that is your Bridge page. And you could read more about the wallets and how that works. We're going to go on to the article deep dive. But first, we're going to check some comments, and then I'll go into the deep dive on Bridge. I'm trying to show you again with Bridge. Why am I showing Bridge? There's no crypto there. I can't make money today or tomorrow on it. Okay, that doesn't matter. What we're looking at Crypto Hawk Show is why is this taking so long? And we're seeing now integration. That's what's occurring. Crypto is a generic term, and we're getting crypto integrated into these payment systems where you can send stable coins, which will not be a threat to your government. So they're going to okay it. That's how all the roads and bridges get built is you use money. Let's say in America, we're going to use dollars. So all these stablecoin companies are going to come out. These payment systems, America regulators won't be threatened because they're going to use, these payment companies are going to use dollars. So they have to buy the dollars. So it's just like they're using a dollar, even though it's called a stable coin. So that way the Federal Reserve won't get butthurt. American people who are afraid of the news media and the government saying, oh, crypto is going to be bad for the country. No, it's not, you fucking asshole. That's the dumbest fucking shit. Notice the government still has control over this because they're using dollars. You see that? So now Facebook came out with Libra and Diem. That would have been a threat because it was going to be its own money. So the government shut it down. I'm the only one that showed you this. The government shut down the Facebook project, took it over, and that's how they made the money in Iraq. There's a company called K2 Intelligence. And I think they changed the name to just K2. But it used to be called K2 Intelligence. It was like a intelligence operator of the United States government. So the Libra project then went to K2, which is like Satan's little helper of the government. And then they went into Iraq to help build their money and monetary system based with the Facebook Libra. Not a big deal, just useless trivia. And you don't even need to know this stuff. Okay. Let's go into Bridge. Bridge.xyz is a stablecoin infrastructure platform that provides APIs for developers and businesses to easily receive, store, convert, issue, and spend stable coins. So we're talking about a business that utilizes stable coins. It provides developers and business an easy way to receive, store, convert, and issue spend stable coins. So CryptoHawk could actually call up Bridge, and I could create my own stable coin. We all can spend it, okay? That's what they do here. They help you issue and spend. So it focuses on simplifying global money movement, enabling faster and cheaper cross-border payments, treasury management, and custom stablecoin issuance. That's what I could have, my own stablecoin. The platform handles compliance, on-chain security, gas fees, integration, Latin America, and Africa. Oh my God, Crypto Hulk. Now, I did a Grok search, and Grok is all, oh, they're not connected to the LA chain and all this stuff, blah, blah, fucking blah. Yeah, they are, you'll see. This fucking Bridge stuff is going to run on the LA chain. That's the Latin America chain, man. There ain't shit going to run. That's going to be your base chain for all those countries is LA chain. So Bridge, guess what? It's going to go on top of the LA chain. Do they have to work together? No, they don't. Does Grok have to know about it? No, because I figure out shit that Grok don't even know. So with that, I'm glad they mentioned LATAM because we already know that. You got Africa involved. Well, that's Chipper Cash and other ones. That's a Ripple partner. I just showed you the Bridge website. I believe they're Chipper Cash partners. So you got Bitso, which is Ripple out of Mexico, 2014. Chipper Cash, which is African, Ripple partner. So we already know how the Stellars for the small money, XRPs for the big money transfers. Let's see. Bridge was acquired by Stripe in October 2024 for $1.1 billion. This is Stripe's largest acquisition, and it signals strong institutional embrace of stablecoins. Bridge now operates under Stripe. The guy who's the CEO, the CEO's name is Zach Abrams. He was head of consumer at Coinbase. He was general manager at Square. So he's got a little bit of experience in the payment world with crypto, doesn't he? And then the chief technology officer, same kind of thing. Bridge enables real-world stablecoin utility, cross-border payments, and real-time aid/gig payments. Bridge already partners with United States government and aid organization for efficient fund distribution. So it's already worked with the government, this Bridge. And I think that's how it's probably going to be. I'll tell you what, if we have a black swan, I'm just going to call this one. If I'm right, I'm right. And if I'm not, I don't give a fuck. I think if we have a black swan, because remember now, Bridge already has partnerships with the U.S. government and aid organizations. What if we have a black swan? And what if people can't get money because the banking system shut down? But what if somehow the cell phone networks are up? You get a text from Wells Fargo saying, delete your phone app and reload it again, or check your phone app. We've made, that 3 million pages of legal speak. You got to click that. Okay, I accept. And what's going to happen is all of a sudden by magic, this is just how I think it could go down, is you're going to open up your phone because we're going to be in a crisis. I'm not saying you won't be able to get any money, but maybe some days your bank works or I don't know, whatever it is, there's going to be a problem, a banking problem. And they could roll out some kind of government aid organization, right? And maybe Stripe comes in or Bridge, and you notice, oh, look, my Wells Fargo account, I have a wallet now. It holds crypto. And maybe the government passes out money, let's say at first to people. Wouldn't that be an opportunity? The government passes out, gives everybody $500. I don't know. Where stranger things have happened. I mean, a strange thing like Gary Gensler getting in the office of the SEC for 4 years. He doesn't do a damn thing with crypto. Now that's a stranger thing that's happened. He couldn't even tell us what a crypto was and what securities could be. He doesn't say nothing before it. Now that's pretty strange. But let's continue. Thanks, Joe Biden, for hiring Gary Gensler. So I really believe that this could happen because Bridge already has partnerships with the government and aid organizations. So that's a very good possibility that Bridge could be used. So you got Visa involved in this. Oh, Visa is the massive Ripple partner. Visa bought Currency Cloud and Earthport. Visa bought those two Ripple companies. I already shown the evidence. I'm not showing it today. I don't got time. That was probably in today's money, $1.5 to $2 billion, somewhere right around in there. That's how much Visa spent for Ripple technology. So we got Stripe, Bridge, Visa, company called Leadbank, and we can get into all the Visa partners. Venmo and Western Union are Visa. It goes on and on. It never ends. So that's how big this is. This is massive with Bridge. Now, who are the partners of Bridge? Bitso, AirTM, Dollar App, Sanoa, Chipper Cash, right there. That's African, and that's a Ripple partner. Massive. They're like the biggest in Africa. That's a Ripple partner right there. Meow, MEOW, Dakota, Visa, WireX, Phantom, ZepZ, U.S. government / aid organizations, and Stripe. Let me look for more information here. Targeting, okay, Bridge, here we go again. Bridge targets emerging markets like LATAM and Africa. So here they say it again. We already know that LA chain is the blockchain for all the Latin American countries. They all build on that chain, that coin. We also got SUI, SUI, integrated into this. You got Plasma. Plasma is integrated in December of last year in 2025. November, SUI partnered up. Let's look here. Launch of gas-free USD SUI. Early 2026, Bridge applied for a United States National Trust Bank Charter, just kind of like what Ripple got in December of 2025, enabling direct custody. So they're trying to be like a trust bank, which is not an actual bank, but it's on its way to becoming one. So Bridge is deeply embedded into Stripe's ecosystem, so it can do ACH and wire type transfers. So it has that ability. It supports Solana, SUI, Stellar, Tempo, Testnet, which is Stripe's blockchain. So Bridge itself has no native token. It allows other companies. It's a platform is basically what it is. It's got Plasma for on-chain ecosystems. It has cross-border payments in Latin America. It's utilizing Bitso. Bitso is a Mexican Ripple partner from 2014. I just showed you that earlier in the show with the International Ripple Business Association. So they're running on Ripple technology. Bitso runs on Ripple, so they're running on Ripple. Talks about Chipper Cash for Africa. So it makes payments in Africa with Chipper Cash. That's a Ripple partner. So they're using Ripple. They're using Stellar and Ripple. And they're using a bunch of companies. Remember I told you, there will be no one crypto that'll do everything. Look, you got Solana in here helping out with SUI and all these other ones. So it's not just one crypto that does it. There's probably 5 or 7 cryptos that make this shit happen. Western Union's involved in this. That's a Visa, Venmo partner with Western Union and running on Ripple, Cross River Bank and Astra and Brightwell. So all that shit's Ripple, and it's a combination of different cryptos doing this. No red flags. Bitso, Sanoa, Visa, WireX, Phantom, Stellar, Fuse Wallet. You got Fuse Wallet mixed in. Okay. So I asked Grok. Now, there's no official tie between LA Chain and Bridge and stuff like that, and of course, because that's more of a government platform, is the LA Chain. It's like a internet that the whole people of Latin America can use, but the governments in those countries are going to kind of police it. So they wouldn't necessarily make an official announcement with, not just yet at least, they wouldn't make an announcement with Bridge, but eventually there will be. Everybody's going to have, in Latin America, everything's going to have to run on LA Chain. That's why I bought it. Whenever that day comes, when all that boom, boom gets plastered on top of LA Chain, then that's when I get rich off LA Chain. But until then, we just have to wait. So yeah, there's no Stripe Bridge connection to IDB Bank, LA Chain, none of that stuff that we talked about. Now, Ripio is a company that made LA Chain, but they have a partnership with Circle, which is USDC. And again, Circle runs on Stellar amongst some other ones. Launched May. Founders. It's not gonna. Stable coins, red flags. Okay, Lead Bank. I looked up Lead Bank. Comes out of Kansas City. We went over Lead Bank one time, I believe. It's very interesting. This little bank, it was a small little bank where I think it was the one that had the satellites or something, or lasers. It would shoot lasers to satellites. This Lead Bank one, nobody ever talks about that one either. Lead Bank is one of these secret ones. Lead Bank is a Kansas City bank, chartered community bank. It is FDIC. It was founded in 1928. Very interesting. And it's all tech now. It's teched out with Stripe and all these things. It's like no other bank. I think this is like a test bank. This Lead Bank out of Kansas City, I believe it was the one that had the lasers, and they would shoot information off satellites, and nobody was doing any of this shit except Lead Bank. I think the government wanted to test all this and utilize a very, very tiny bank just to make sure it all worked. Visa's involved with Lead Bank, Stripe, Bridge, Ramp, Affirm, stuff like that. It's a fintech bank, high growth partners. I just found it very interesting why a little teeny bank, why wouldn't B of A be doing this? But there's Lead Bank. But anyhow, founders. Okay, Lead Bank is one of a few. Let's call three, meaning a few. Two's a couple, three is a few. So Lead Bank is one of few FDIC insured banks for stablecoins, crypto startups. Very, very interesting right here. It powers custody, settlement, integrates with chains via Solana Phantom. This is very, very interesting how this little old tiny bank, this community bank from 1928 in Kansas City, is one of the few banks that's dealing with crypto and startups and has custody and all these things. Nobody else, like three banks or whatever, like a very few banks. That means something right there. Andreessen Horowitz is mixed up with Lead Bank. That tells you right there. Andreessen Horowitz, whatever they get into, it works. And they collaborate with MasterCard and Visa. This little tiny bank is also got partners like BlackRock and Fidelity. Oh, shit. See what I mean? That's how they do it. They find the little tiny bank nobody talks about except Crypto Hulk. And we find out that you got BlackRock all the way working with this bank doing high risk, high growth kind of experimentation with shit. I'm telling you, man, this channel's pretty cool. Stuff we find out. Lead bank. Okay, they got chain analysis working for them, and that's the end of that one. Let me check here real quick. That's weird. Let's go. There's a deep dive here. I got to get into this one. 15 minutes. Okay, let's do the MUFG. Because I think that's where the Toki, T-O-K-I coin is. MUFG. Here's the article here. Let me do a copy paste. And we'll do a quick 15-minute deep dive on this. Because I want you to know where this crypto comes from. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to just rattle off names of cryptos. If you're going to watch the show, you're going to have to fucking earn to find out what crypto it is. MUFG. Japan's biggest bank. Listen to this one. MUFG is going to establish a universal bank in the European Union. What? I've never heard of that shit before. Let's continue. This one's a very interesting one. MUFG and MUFG Bank have announced their intention to establish a universal banking platform. Oh, that means an interoperable banking platform. I wonder what it could be. Vitalik Buterin's Ethereum? No, come on, stop it with that. The firm says the Universal Bank, headquartered in Amsterdam. Now, that's very interesting with the red light district and the hookers and shit and all the cocaine. It's free, or at least legal. Will enable the Tokyo-based company to expand the range and quality of support provided to clients. This universal platform will also enhance the integration of the bank and securities operations to provide a comprehensive range of corporate and investment banking and global market services. The European Union is a key part of the MUFG's global business model. They have a global business model. Isn't that something? Now, just to let you know, Japan is a massive Ripple partner from day one. The merger is planned for this year and the next year. Now, let's get into the deep dive here on why this one's important, because there's going to be a crypto that they're going to use. Late fee, says Robert Driscoll. Okay, we've collected that one. Very good. Oh, the laser bank is Maxwell State Bank in Iowa. Okay, right on. Thanks for that. And again, isn't it interesting how these Maxwell State Bank in Iowa, in the middle of nowhere, is shooting up lasers with crypto and all that? Like, that's crazy stuff. I'm telling you. But we tend to find it on Crypto Hulk. So let's go to the deep dive here. Mitsubishi. It's called Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group. Is not a traditional crypto project, but Japan's largest banking group with deep roots in traditional finance. I'm not going to give you the history on how it started and all that. We're going to skip past that. Yeah, I mean, okay, look, with this bank, the biggest bank, you can imagine it's partnering with everybody, okay? So just keep that in mind. MUFG is a pioneer in bank-backed blockchain and crypto. Oh, my God. Focusing on stablecoins, tokenization, and cross-border payments with their partner Ripple, of course. They had pilot. MUFG has ran pilots with stablecoins. They're very active in the stablecoin and crypto. That's why it looks like they're going to be the ones to launch this. Now, they have something called Progmat Coin. Oh, shit. Progmat Coin for trust-based stable coins. Now, remember, and they have Progmat is a platform. Progmat has a coin. MUFG started, it's a Mitsubishi. They started Progmat and they're heavy Ripple partners. And right here, blockchain projects. They worked on a project called Comgo, COMGO, for community trade finance. I think that might be a crypto. I'm not sure. We talked about. They have a cross-chain bridge. Here it is with Toki, TOKI/data chain. So you might want to do your little research. I can only do so much. I can't be focusing on one of these cryptos, but it's the Toki/data chain for Ethereum interoperability. It had a pilot with Ginkgo, GINCO, in 2024. Red flags. Okay, what are the government involvements here? The FSA supports, I don't know what the FSA is, some kind of Japanese whatever. The FSA supports stablecoin proof of concept 2025. So the government's already approved this new stablecoin. MUFG wants to launch in Europe and around the whole world. It wants to launch it in Europe, but it's a universal platform. It aligns with Japan's Payment Services Act of 2023. And this particular MUFG stablecoin is right now involved with the G20 for cross-border payments. So they're getting all the top 20 governments in the world. It's all registered, and they're trying to make this deal happen. And it's going to be utilizing the Toki crypto, TOKI, from Data Chain. It's not out yet, but we're going to be keeping our eyes out for it. JP Morgan's a part of this for Metaverse. JP Morgan is involved. BBVA is involved. Ripple partner. Credit Suisse, Ripple partner. Let's see. Who are the partners of this Progmat and MUFG, but primarily for Progmat? You got Akami, Coinbase, Binance, Mizuho Bank, Ripple partner, Progmat Inc. You got Chain involved, Data Chain, Toki. What do they provide? Cross-chain infrastructure for stable coins right there. Ethereum public chains, unified liquidity. That's what Toki is going to provide for this Progmat. This brand new platform, MUFG is coming up with this new platform. I'm sure it has Progmat integration, and we are learning now that it has Toki integration, which will be a stablecoin that's coming out, but it's a cross-chain infrastructure for stablecoins. That's what Data Chain is. Toki will be that crypto. I'm thinking it's kind of like LA Chain. Data Chain would be like LA Chain, and the coin would be LA Coin. Well, this one's called Toki. It sounds to me like it's very similar. Jinko, Alpaca, NTT. When you hear NTT, that is R3. And guess what? You got Ripple involved again. Because look what we got here. When you look up NTT, look what we got. Universal Wallet Infrastructure from Accenture, NTT. Oh, Accenture, that's a Ripple partner right there. Accenture is partnering with NTT. So we know that Ripple's involved again. And here is an article. Here's where the XDC crypto comes into this. Japanese Progmat Universal, brand new, coming out. Here's your article right there. This is R3. That's a company. And look, they're partnering with NTT. So there we've got the XDC crypto coming in. And we know that if you're dealing with R3 blockchain, you're dealing with XDC crypto, because here's your proof right here. So there's that. And these wallets and shit, that's going to be a Ripple wallet with Accenture and NTT. So there's your NTT. Got Plug and Play involved. JP Comgo's involved. KOMGO. It's a blockchain for community trade finance. Bitwise grabbing Swift. Oh, Swift is involved in this. And when you got Swift, you know you got the Linnea crypto, don't you? That's going to be run. Now, Swift might not use Linnea, but because Linnea has different functions. Swift will be using the Linnea platform. Here's your evidence right there. Linnea is a crypto that's on Caleb and Brown. LINEA. Here's your evidence here. Swift confirms Linnea blockchain for payment settlement. It's an infrastructure project, Linnea is. It's got 30 big banks involved. You know, just little ones like Bank of America, Citibank, JP Morgan, Toronto Dominion Bank. Not a big deal. Consensus CEO Joseph Lubin confirmed that Swift will build its blockchain payment settlement on Ethereum Layer 2 Linnea. Oh my God. Linnea is involved. Okay, Swift's involved in this blockchain payment project. Swift, wrap your brain around this one now. MUFG, massive Ripple connections, Stellar, XDC, all of them. Swift is involved in this project, and you're telling me they're not going to use Linnea, but Swift's going to use Linnea, but not this project. That's so fucking stupid. So basically what's happening is Linnea is being integrated into this. And, oh, look, Linnea leverages ZK Ethereum virtual machine rollup. I wonder if they're going to use ZK Sync crypto, because Vitalik Buterin said ZK Sync is one of the most underrated cryptos on the planet. And here is Vitalik Buterin when he made the statement about ZK Sync. But he's not going to use it, though. He's not going to use a ZK rollup on Ethereum. Right here, ZK Sync has been doing a lot of underrated and valuable work in the Ethereum ecosystem. Excited to see this come up from them. Very interesting. Let's continue with the deep dive here. Where are we at as far as time? Fuck, 1 minute. Okay, that is pretty much, okay, so I got a little bit of this deep dive here. Talks about Progmat. Who's a partner of Progmat? Swift, ClimaDAO, JPYC, Jinko, Binance, Data Chain with Toki, Mizuho. So again, Swift is involved in this. Swift's using the Linnea blockchain. We already know. Here's Data Chain. is a blockchain tech company out of Japan. It deals with interoperability. There's a Nomura researcher that helped make it. That's a Ripple partner. Oh, now looky here with data chain. Here's where it all starts coming together with Ripple and shit. What is data chain? They're making this Toki crypto, Toki. Now, data chain, you want to know who data chain is because that's where all the magic happens. They have, again, a CEO of data chain. He's an ex-Nomura research person. He's also got another guy, an ex-IBM executive helping him. That's Stellar, which is Hyperledger, IBM. Mentions right here, expertise in Hyperledger Fabric. That is Stellar right there. I don't have time to show it. And Cosmo SDK. Now, we got to show Cosmo SDK. Oh, man. Because when you see Cosmo SDK, that's Ripple. And that's the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain. Cosmo is where Ripple people joined up with Persist to make side chains for the ledgers for Ethereum interoperability. This is all Ripple right here. This data chain shit is basically Ripple technology. It's basically Cosmo SDK. Throw in some Stellar and some Cosmo SDK and some NTT, which is right here. Advisors are experts from NTT Data. So that's XDC crypto. So you got Ripple, Stellar, and XDC all in one. That's data chain with the interoperability of the Cosmo SDK. Oh, shit. That's the secret right there. So Mitsubishi, MFG, Ripple Partners joining with this data chain, which is XRP, XDC, and XLM to create a universal blockchain in Europe. Gee, I wonder who the partners are in that one. And okay, right here's where Toki comes in. Toki, and it shows FZCO launch 2023 in the United Arab Emirates, Operation Japan, is data chain's flagship cross-chain infrastructure project. Not a separate entity, but a branded platform. Founders align with data chain. They got PricewaterhouseCoopers involved in this. Swift and ex-Swift engineers are working on data chain. That's Linnea right there. See where all this comes? R3 Corda experts are involved in this. Toki's collaborations include Progmat founders and data chain. This is all tied in together. Toki, Toki, the crypto, is an IBC-enabled cross-chain bridge. Now it shows live on Ethereum BNB mainnet since February 2025, facilitating native asset transfers without wrap tokens. Now, upcoming Toki, that means it's not around. Upcoming Toki for governance and liquidity, Q1 2026. So that's January, February, March. Somewhere in this time frame, the Toki crypto is coming out, and that's one that I hope we can get. I will put in minimum $500 on that one. Probably 1,000 if I can. We'll see if I have any money. But if I can get some access, like $500 to it, that'll be good. Toki has a planned utility token, making it a crypto project. There you go. The IDA Progmat / data chain / Toki proof of concept. It was done. The stablecoin was March 2025. They've been working on this project for a while. They're getting ready to release the token for it. This is all massively. Now, there is a fake crypto called Data Chain Foundation, but it's unrelated to Data Chain Inc. So don't buy it. There's nothing here to buy. Right now, there's nothing here to buy in today's show. All I'm going over is when the Toki crypto comes out, that's what I'm going to jump on. Data chain in Toki, here we go, heavily bank integrated with MUFG, which is Progmat, which gets into Mizuho and all these Ripple partners. Swift's involved. Cosmo Labs, that's all Ripple and shit and Persist. And Ethereum interoperability. Data Chain is a blockchain company, not a cryptocurrency. It's an enterprise tech with no token. Toki is a blockchain project. It plans, PLNS, it plans a Toki utility token for staking, liquidity, and governance. The bridges, they've got bridges, they got a platform and all this stuff for Toki, but Toki qualifies as crypto once it is launched, which it is not. This is what we're waiting for. Toki uses IBC. That's the Cosmo SDK from Ripple that runs. Toki uses that basically for Ripple to run on Ethereum and compatible chains. Toki will be deployed on Ethereum, BNB, and Cosmos. Toki's bridge app source is partially open Hyperledger / Cosmo integration. So again, Stellar's involved, Ripple's involved, XDC is involved, Toki is involved. Here's Data Chain Toki, all the partners. We kind of discussed the biggest ones. Swift, Cosmo Labs, MUFG, we got IBM, Hyperledger, of course. So what Grok says is that Toki very well is going to use Linea, the platform Linea. It doesn't say that it's going to be using the actual crypto because that's not a Swift function. The cryptos themselves, Swift's not going to mess with the crypto. It messes with the blockchain, but the crypto helps the blockchain work. Get it? So you got to have, that's why they have both. So Linea is a token for governance and incentives, and it does these other things. Swift's going to use the platform. The tokens help the platform work, okay? That's how this works. Linea platform enables scalable Ethereum applications, DeFi and Lend. See, on Linea, it's a platform and all the stuff goes on. But in order to all the stuff to go on, you got to have the tokens, okay? So Swift pilots the ledger on Linea with 30 banks. Linea's platform enables scalable Ethereum apps. Linea enables DeFi. Linea enables real-world assets, the platform. It enables treasuries, payments, gaming, AI. It has 1.5 TPS, low fees. This is for institutional use. Linea token is for governance. And so the token, what is it for? Governance, incentive, rewards, airdrops, ecosystem fund, 85% allocation, deflationary via burns. Swift uses Linea platform for settlements, not token, focusing on ZK Ethereum virtual machine. Now, who are the partners of Linea? Swift, SharpLink, Consensus, Ether.fi, Egen Cloud, Anchorage Digital, Chainlink, MetaMask, EtherX, Malda, Ave, Egen Labs, ENS, Alchemy Pay, Ripple Partner, one of my top 10, Lamina One, RWA.Inc. That's what I got on my phone. Layer 3. Linnea is a ZK Ethereum virtual machine layer 2 on Ethereum, processing 230 million transactions since 2023. So Linnea is already a platform that's been used. They just recently released the crypto. And I guess it was invented actually. The project Linnea was started in 2019. That's like 6 years ago. Shit, 6-7 years ago it was out. And then it took a test, it went to testnet in 2023. Linnea token is for governance, incentives, and all this other DeFi, real world assets and shit, payments. That's what it's before. Linnea uses Ethereum for gas and bridging. Linnea is a utility token for ecosystem alignment, not payments or liquid bridging. The primary use case of the Swift Linnea platform, Linnea's coin, is governance, which allows on-chain voting for upgrades, incentives, which are rewards for users, liquidity providers via Surge program, ecosystem funding, Ethereum public goods, staking, network security, API rewards, deflationary burns. Who uses the Linnea token? Developers, builders, users, liquidity providers, rewards in DeFi, like their holders will use it. Institutions will use it. Rewards, Linnea rewards participation without fragmenting liquidity. It's not for speculation like XRP. Linnea focuses on utility, like real world use case in DeFi, real world assets and payments. Swift uses the platform, not the token. Linnea is listed on Kraken, etc. So there we have that. And that will do it for this program right here. Let me check. Okay, that'll be a wrap for this program here. You have a lot of great choices of cryptos. If you're brand new, you're starting to see how all this is coming together. It's all being integrated. Crypto is being integrated into global payment systems. We've got the biggest banks of the world involved with Swift. It doesn't get much bigger than Swift. So obviously, these are all good cryptos, the ones that I was talking about. They're all regulated, and they'll be used in the financial system for the payments future. I'll see you on the next broadcast.